Well, I'm hoping you're all out there listening to this. Let me see if I can just go into my main channel and see if we're live. And I believe we should be live. Let me tell you something. Yesterday. Let's have a look and see how many people come up on here. Let's get on here. Right. The reason I'm making this fairly quick live feed is I'm on 5 tonight, and I'll be out. I don't know whether or not we can show a lot of this stuff, but just to let you know, I've seen some of the reports coming into me today, and I don't read the Sun, and I especially don't read the Sun. I don't read, mainstream media. I don't look at any of that stuff. So I'm going to tell you something now. That I'm getting reports in it. The BBC said, a few thousand turned up yesterday. I'm getting reports that the Sun have said a couple of hundred people turned up. And I do want people to understand this. Yeah, we created the English media group for a reason. And that is that the people of this country, and I'm talking about England, could be told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I have got somewhere in the region of 3.5 hours of continuous footage of yesterday. I can tell you there was 1 million plus people there. When people walk for 4 or 5 hours non-stop, everywhere I looked, it was packed, mobbed with people. What I was really pleased about, and I've got to be honest with you, I was proud to see Welsh flags. I was proud to see Scottish flags, and I was especially proud to see English flags flying. From what I can see, and from the footage, it shows that there weren't that many British flags flying. I think people have now started to realise that when you understand what the British are, and that is a political union, I want people to remember what a supranational state is. And a supranational state is what the British are. And they have attempted to eliminate the three countries in effect of Great Britain. So Great Britain is that island that lays just off of mainland Europe. The European Union was a supra-state. The USSR was a supra-state. In the end, they all fell. The British are probably responsible for most of the aggravation that's going on in the world now, right? And I think people are getting that and understanding it. So what I'm saying to people is, not only was I proud to march, walk, or whatever you want to term it as, and I'm also going to say this: I was exceptionally grateful for the people that offered to carry my bag, which was heavy, right? But when we stopped just in front of Trafalgar Square, and those banners, which was the Magna Carta and the Bill of Rights, and the amount of people that stopped and was talking to us and asking them questions, and the amount of people holding the English flags around the English Bill of Rights and the English Magna Carta, and starting to understand that what it means and who gave it to them and who are the people who took it away. So I'm hoping, I'm in purges out there. I'm going to try and see if we can get a sort of morph of what that British Union flag means. It is a supra state. It is exactly what we fought against with the European Union. Exactly what the people of the USSR fought against. And again, what you've actually got is with the UN a similar situation where they're trying to create this global supra state, right? Now, I want people to remember this, because the more I think about it, the more I understand that we are all doing the right thing. And that is quite simply that it was England that gave us the Magna Carta, but it didn't just give England the Magna Carta. It gave the world the Magna Carta. It gave the world in 1215 the very first human rights charter. And when you look at the human rights charters of the UN and the different places, etc., lots and lots and lots of elements of that come directly from the original 1215 Magna Carta. That America is a nation structured in the very same way as England, became the most powerful nation for freedom on this earth. And all America is the big brother of England, not Britain, of England. And all of those people that come from all over England and from Wales and from Scotland to march in solidarity as separate countries, but as individuals, as human beings that can see what the British are doing to us and what these so-called elites are doing to us. And I just want to say to everyone, I was proud of everyone who was there. Everyone had their own reasons for being there. All walks of life were there, from engineers to solicitors, lawyers, a couple of people I spoke to in the background there, and everybody understanding exactly what we was marching for, and that was really to regain our individual rights, to take back what the British have took from us. And again, I think everybody is understanding that. I see Fiona was there with a number of people. I see Kate was there. Ike was there. David Ike was there. But the point being that everyone was coming together as individuals, and we all understand and know exactly what was going on there. So, like I said, for the Sun and BBC to say this is it's just beggars belief that the Sun would say a couple of hundred people turned up. Well, I've got to tell you something. I'm gonna put together some of the clips from this, and then you'll see that the Sun, are the enemy. The Mirror are the enemy. The mainstream news in every way and form are the enemy of the people. They are the fake news people, and I just want everyone to know that. So what I'm going to be doing for the next few hours is trying to clip together some of these parts. Like I say, there's 3 hours or about 3.5 hours of actual footage of this so-called couple of hundred people, right? I can tell you now, just the first clips and photographs show you there's more than a couple of hundred people. The fact that you're being lied to every day, and I think the people are now waking up to that. The people are waking up to you have been told one big lie. And it is my firm opinion, certainly in the last couple of 100 years, that big lie has been put forward by the British establishment, the British elites, the British civil service, and we, again, the Welsh and the Scots and the Irish, but the English have the right to self-determination. It is a human rights abuse to attack us, to stand up and to call me and others far right. Anyone who met us yesterday knows that we are not anywhere near what can be described as far right. In their terms, what I mean by far right? We're not interested in that one iota, and they know how dangerous we are. And we are dangerous because we stand up for individual rights. We stand up against the establishment who says to us, you cannot leave your house. You must wear a mask. You cannot be in a restaurant with more than 6 people. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. We're going to force a mandate of vaccinations on you that are experimental, that we've got absolutely no knowledge of what this is going to do to you in the future. Actually, they have, and it's not good. Nothing that is done by the state en masse against the people is ever going to be in your interests, and people need to understand that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this video, put it together, show people the different elements. Like I say, I was so proud of everyone that turned up there. Many people from all over the country, many people that I speak to online and suddenly appear before you as a real human being. It is such a humbling experience to know how many good people are really out there, especially when your own family are believing this bureaucratic stimuli, otherwise known as BS, from these people. So I'm really grateful for that. Hopefully we got Jonathan Tilt on the show live tomorrow night, and we'll talk about the Freedom Alliance Party. Again, I'm in awe at the way that they've created that party. I really do want them to understand the English side of this, and again, to see how we're being attacked. I want them to adopt, as a party, the right to self-determination, which is a human right. I want people to come out on the streets with their English flags and be proud of the Magna Carta, be proud of the Bill of Rights, be proud of everything that the English gave you. Whether you are black, white, brown or yellow, it is irrelevant of your colour. The Magna Carta, what it presented to us, the fact that it is still there and it is still being used, and it still should be used, because it's what our ancestors all fought and died for. So again, I'm just saying to everyone, I'm really, 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 really proud of everyone that went there yesterday. To a large extent, when you got people in front of you that have got out of their wheelchairs, that are obviously quite severely disabled, and I'm talking about people where almost their feet are facing back to front, and yet they still wanted to get out of that chair, push the chair in front of them and walk with the rest of us. And then you can see the power of the belief and the love of humanity and what we're trying to stop. And the more people that get up and do it, and the more people that get out there and do it, and the more people that stand in their counties with their county flags and with their English flag in England, and making sure that these people know that it is the British that's causing this problem, right? It is the British establishment, it is the British Parliament, and it is the British Civil Service, and one way or the other, we need to take it back. It is a supranational state, and just as the USSR crumbled, and just as the EU is crumbling, and just as Yugoslavia crumbled under that state supranationalism, what we've got to do is remove that and go back to being the free independent countries and compete against each other in a nice way. You don't have to do it in a nasty way. You don't have. There's some absolutely beautiful, courageous, wonderful Welsh people out there. There's some wonderful, wonderful, beautiful Scottish people out there that don't hate the English as I don't hate them. And what that proved to me yesterday, and especially seeing the English flag, and many, many English flags all over that march, that was a fantastic sight. And again, you know, we got to do this all over the country and take back control of this country. Go back to our counties. We definitely want an English Parliament. We need to remove the British full stop. We need to avoid the Acts of Union, remove their power, and cast them into the dustbin of history, literally, and say that the English people woke up yet again and took back their country and took back their rights and took back their liberties. We need to remove the corruption, and the people need to work together as one. So what I am going to do now is literally do some of these elements. I'm not even sure if I can bring up any of this on the screen. Let me see if I can bring anything up for you. And if I can bring these up, maybe I can bring some photos up for you. But I am going to be working on a more fully, and I'm definitely going over towards Rumble, because it looks like the safest place to keep this stuff up there. So what I'm going to do is go on to the Freedom Rally. Let's see if I can bring some of these up for you on the screen. And again, this is just a meeting place. There was a lot more people that met us there, and it was getting towards the rally, so we obviously had to move on a bit lively with it and get stuck into the rally. Let me see if I can bring some of these in here. Now again, this is just some of the stuff I'm showing you. Hopefully I can bring this up on the screen. You're going to be able to see them, right? So there is we're looking for a nickname, an online name for the person standing directly in front there, holding the Trump flag and the English flag. It's either going to be Mr. Gobby or Mr. Rant, right? So I don't mind which one it is, but we're going to find out which one. And I'm not talking about gobshite. Gobshite is a negative term to someone. This is Mr. Gobby. He actually tells the truth. Or you can call him Mr. Rant. So we need a vote out there on whether it's Mr. Gobby or Mr. Rant. And that's Brett there. So again, we met up, and you can see a number of different things there. Some really great people that turned up there, all the different flags. Again, we're doing some other bits and pieces. You've got the t-shirts coming out. You've got the Magna Carta, and the Magna Carta rules. That's a good one. WW, where we go one, we go all. You can see that in the middle there. Fantastic. Again, we've got the American flag there, and again, the other references to what we're doing. We took all these out with us. We've got the MAGA hats, or the mega hats, I should say, make England great again. Again, all of this stuff is in relation to what we was talking about. So let me see if I can go through any of this. We was left alone by the police. We've got the various elements there that we took on the march with us, which was the Magna Carta 1297. The original Magna Carta of 1215 is in full force, right? And you can rely on any part of that. Don't give a flying beep to what the British try and tell you. No parliament can remove the Magna Carta of 1215, right? And there is a reason for that. It's out of their jurisdiction. It was before Parliament existed. So again, you've got everyone getting ready to go onto that. So what I'm going to do now is go back to my original screen, 2 seconds, and see if I can bring this up. And I'll come back on there, and then I'm going to try and find the other bits here. So we've got a load of different elements. Let me see if I can just find a couple of these parts. There's another one there which I've tested positive for common sense. I'm going to show you this one. 2358. Let's see if I can show 23. I think it's 2358. 57. It'll be that one. Oh. Right, let me see if I can now go into 1311. See if I can get into this. 1311. See if this works. What's an... tell you what the problem is there. I'll tell you what the problem is there. And you're all going to think I'm completely mental. It's my actual camera is in the way, the one that's in front of me at the moment, right? So, 44. Oh, look, just the fact that these are still all right. So I'm going to try and find this element. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back. Let's just get rid of that. Let's pull this back over here. Let's pull that up. Get that back over here. I've got to be able to see what I'm trying to pull up on the screen, and my camera is in a way of the actual video, so every time I look at it, it don't work. I'm going to show you this in a couple of seconds, right? So let's see if I can bring this back up on this one. Hang on, let's see if I can bring this up. 14. Not into that bit. Let's see if I can bring it up in a 13. All I could. So I'm going to show you some of this bit. Hang on. Let's get back onto this. I think I want 2358. Don't forget, I haven't been through this completely yet. Yeah. I think I'm about there. 7, 10. Right, what you're going to start seeing in about 30 seconds, hopefully you're all going to be able to see this little bit. So this is just a clip. So there's a couple of little clips I'll show you. But basically, I've got 3.5 hours worth of footage, right? And they're just saying, a few hundred people turn up. What you're going to see on the screen is that I could never see how they can say it was just a few thousand. Let me tell you something, there was at least 1 million people there.
There's our lot over the other side there.
Now have a look at that. Just have a look at that. Look, have a look at that. English flag waving gentleman there, and he's got a T-shirt on, and it says, "I've tested positive for common sense." I love it, right? And just have a look.
Get another job.
And again, this rally went on for miles and miles and miles, right? Just to let you know. So what I'm going to do now is try and find another one for you. 23:59. I've got loads of footage. So just to let you know, this is just a few hundred people, according to the Sun, right? We all know what the Sun said about Hillsborough, right? I'm just letting you know, people, that if you want real English journalists out there telling you the reality rather than what these idiots. That was Kate, by the way, and then I've done a quick interview while you're watching this with an American channel, right? So let's have a look and see what else it goes to. Just have a look at what's going on here, right? Now, the major point of this, you're actually seeing, this is just a few hundred people, or a couple of thousand according to the BBC, right? Just have a look at it. Just have a look at these people, and are you honestly telling me that there's just a couple of hundred people there? So they haven't got an honest journalist between them, right? Look at all them English flags. I love them English flags, I've got to tell you so. Right, absolutely spot on. 23:59. I don't know where the next one is. Right, that one didn't go very far. Where are by by the way, that beautiful young lady is the person, not the one that I'm showing you on the screen. Hang on. Although she's a beautiful young lady as well. Hang on a minute, let me find this one. That one there, she's absolutely stunning, right? There you go. She's made our little leaflets for us. There you go. Right, so now I'm going to...
So we're keeping them together.
Hang on. Leon, do us a favour. Hold that on them banners a sec. I can't keep the bag there, right? Just keep that.
And then you get Mr. Gobby. Now, so many people was coming up and talking to us. Don't forget, we're wearing our mega hats. And I'm still trying to find my little bit here. This is just so fantastic.
Flag exchange! See the English flag. There you can see the Bill of Rights, the Magna Carta and the English and American flags. And it's really important to understand that the American Constitution came from the English Constitution. Human rights abuse.
That was a joke. So the old Bill drove their van in front of our English constitutionalist and self-determination element there, and they decided to drive their van in front of it.
We should put Brian Moore, David Dragon on the banners. Loads of people take pictures. A lot of interest.
Do that next time. See you later. Don't forget, Here you are.
He's getting money back from it, yeah? He now gets their fucking
Again, I'm only showing you a fraction of literally. Let me just see if I can pop this back now and go back to me normal thing, right? So I'm back onto there. Now you can see, can't you, right? Oh, blimey. Let me get back to my normal screen. There you go. You can see, can't you? Everyone can see that how they could say there was a couple of hundred people there. Do you understand how much that discredits journalism, discredits the British establishment, discredits everything? They are doing exactly what the USSR used to do, right? You know, all these thousands of people taking to the streets. There was a couple of hundred. Yeah? Well, I'll tell you what, my maths don't relate a million or a couple of hundred, right? And if that is the case, all you British multi-millionaires and billionaires will now start reducing your millions to a couple of hundred in your bank account because we're actually working with your maths rather than our maths. How would you like that? So there it is. And again, what happened, and there's loads of footage, I've got to go through it. The problem that you've got is if you're actually on a march and you're with it, and you've got the camera equipment, apart from having the heavy stuff you have to carry with you, and the different spare batteries and stands and all sorts of stuff, right? And I'm really grateful to Charlie and a number of other people that really did help with that, right? Don't forget, I mean, I'm not lazy, don't get me wrong, but when you're trying to reduce your weight and then carrying probably 20 kilos of bags and different stuff with you, my arm is still aching from carrying the camera, right? But what I'm saying is I'm grateful for them people who assist us. Now, we're looking at now doing a couple of other things. I'm talking to Brett and some others, and I may be talking to the Freedom Alliance about it as well, which is setting up a single point where we can be standing, and it's to do with our human right of self-determination for England, right? And that means self-determination for you as individuals. You must remember that, right? Where the state can't be switching your kids off on a whim like that against the parents' wishes. Where the state can't be telling you, you must have this injection or you can't travel, right? Or you must wear a mask. You can't go in a restaurant and there'd be more than 6 people. Go back through history and see when these people have created them types of restrictions. Even if you go back to the Peasants' Revolt, that is where some of our pubs are called the White Hart or called the King's Arms, and it was to stop the soldiers believing that any assembly inside or association of more than 6, because they actually put you weren't allowed to congregate with more than 6 after the Peasants' Revolt, right? Think about history and how this is slotting together, and the only people who can take it all back are us, and that is the people, the real people, us, the ones that fix and just like the Peasants' Revolt, yeah, it was the bakers and the carpenters and the people that were actually the tradesmen as part of that community. They were the ones that said, "That's it, we've had enough," right? And even the elites rely on those people and them sets of people. For some reason, the elites now just think that they can do what they like with us. Well, they can't, right? So, first of all, the only real way you're ever going to take this back is to void the Acts of Union, right? That is where the British supranational state come from. It is no different to the European Union in its operation. It is as corrupt as the European Union. It's as corrupt as the USSR was, and we need to take our country back. So I, again, am really proud of everyone that went there. Like I say, the problem is, and it's not a major issue yet. Obviously, I was there for, I think I stopped walking after about 5 hours, and I can tell you some stories about everyone, about the pub after, which was quite funny. Actually, I will tell you. So I parked in a certain place, and afterwards there was 5 of us, I think, that went for a beer. Well, I've got to tell you something. I couldn't walk another step. Right? I was like, I ain't going to walk and find a pub, right? So this hotel, which was basically the Hilton, had a bar on the 28th floor, and I said, that's my pub. Right. So anyway, we've worked out this funny thing. I've got to the top, and I'm ringing the others. I said, where are you? And they said, well, where you gone? I said, I'm on the pub. They won't let you in. You know, they're all this and that and the other. I said, no, listen, it's Daddy Dragon, and let me in, right? So I've got to the 28th floor. Listen to this, right? So the geezer's standing there with a mask, and he said, hello, sir. He said, are you requiring a table? I said, well, there's another 5 of us, I think. There's a few of us and all. And he went, oh, I'll reserve a table for you, sir, no problem. He said, if you'd like to come through. And he said, may I just offer you this towel to freshen yourself up? I was sweating. Right, I said, thanks very much, Gov. Right, so bosh, like, getting rid of all the swat and everything. So he's put me through, and he said, I'm sorry, the others who are going to join you? And I said, yeah. So he said, what's your name, sir? I said, Daddy Dragon, right? He said, okay, I'll put the table down as reserved for Daddy Dragon, right? So I'm wearing this, right? in the Hilton Hotel, right, 28th floor. I said, any chance I said, you got a balcony we can go to? He said, I'm very sorry, sir, health and safety, but 28th floor balconies don't really mix with alcohol very well. I said, okay, right, we'll go for that one. So anyway, I'm sitting there, I'm looking through their posh menu, right, and we found an English beer, right. Next thing you know, Brett and the others have all turned up. Brett, Michael and everything else, right? And they've all got these type T-shirts on, right? And as they've come up, the guy said to him, "Oh, are you looking for Daddy Dragons? We've reserved the table. I'll take you over to Daddy Dragon." So they all walked through this packed bar, right? And they've all got the English T-shirts on. So we've all sat down there. But the staff were absolutely fantastic. And Brett actually said to him, you know, Saint, mate, he said, he said, we've had such a great day today. He said, it would really be lovely to see you smile. And he had a mask on. And the bloke pulled his mask down and went and smiled for him. And he said, I'll take you to the table. And then Brett said, how do you know we're with him? But bearing in mind, they've all got these T-shirts on, right? And so the bloke was just laughing. And they come over. But we had a good crack for about an hour just to chill out before we all went home. But that was that was on the 28th floor of the Hilton Hotel, and the staff were fantastic. He actually said to me, where have you been in that? And I said, I've been for a very long walk. He said, have you been on a Freedom March? I went, yeah. He went, oh, well done. And he said, how long have you been walking for? I said, about 5 hours. And he went, oh. He said, no wonder you was sweating. Or he said, sorry, sir, no wonder you was perspiring. Right, so he's giving me this towel and everything. So anyway, it was absolutely fantastic. Although I will say that the beers were rather expensive, but let me tell you, I think I would have paid. I would give me right half for a beer by the time I'd finished that lot, right? So we sat down, had that beer and that, and then we all dispersed and come home. But it was lovely. The staff in the Hilton Hotel were absolutely fantastic. There were no. They looked after us, waited on us, give us lots of nuts. I probably thought we was monkeys or something, but they brought us loads of nuts and everything and kept us supplied with beer. So I am grateful to that, because we obviously needed to sit down and have a proper beer. So it was fantastic. Then again, there's other bits. We got certain bits and certain bits of footage of us in Hyde Park for a little while. It was fantastic. But you've now all seen. Now I am going through all the footage. It will be put onto Rumble and onto YouTube, but I trust Rumble to keep it up there. So the next element to this is there's some other people going to a lot of things. Daddy Dragon, yeah, well done to those who managed to help DD. I'll tell you what, it was fantastic. I was over the moon with how many people did turn up. I suppose in total we probably had about 100, maybe 200 people that sort of, and then one lot moved on and another lot moved on and then come in, but we was all there. But it was getting to that point. From where we met was probably about half a mile to where the actual march was. But yeah, it was fantastic. And again, I've just seen all them English flags there, and just people having sensible conversations. So many people. I don't think I met anyone negative. The only person who met anyone negative was Mr. Gobby, and he actually with a Trump flag and an English flag, right? He actually ran into the Palestinian mob. Right, so they started having a pop at him, and Mr. Gobby, being Mr. Gobby, would not accept that at all. He literally gave it to him and said, "Listen, Mr. Trump, President Trump, is the person." He said all the time he was there, was there any missiles flying from Israel into Palestine or any Palestinian missiles over there? The answer is no. Right, so as soon as he's out of the equation, they've started their antics again. You should start looking at President Trump as the person who saved people's lives in Palestine, right? And I've got to tell you something. I actually support the Palestinians. Yeah, and the reason I do is because it was the British that created the Balfour Agreement. It's the British that have created that problem. It was the British that created Israel, right? And Israel does not support England, right? So any of them people out there that are Zionists, that support Israel, I'm going to say this once and once only: fuck Israel, right? Because Israel does not support. In fact, it supports the regionalisation of England and the destruction of England, right? And they're doing that with the British. So if anyone wants to know my fucking strong views on that, you've just got them. Does that mean I don't like Jews? Of course it fucking don't, right? But let me tell you something now, everyone out there, you've got to understand this, yeah? We had a good show yesterday and we're going to keep this show going, right? And the more people understand the basic principle of your human right is the right to self-determination for your nation, and the British are supposed to be promoting your self-determination for English rule and respecting your right to self-determination, not calling you far right, extreme far right, because you stand there with an English flag and you stand there saying that is the Magna Carta that the English gave the world, the first human rights charter. It is the British that's causing the problem, and I think people are getting it. So that's it. What I'm going to do now is sit here through hours of footage and see if I can get the clips, and once I've put all them clips together, we'll put the clips together and I'll put up a video. But this was just literally just to show people we was there. There was strong support for the English. Fantastic to see the Scottish flags. Really, really, really pleased to see our Welsh brothers and sisters coming out in support and loving the English side of it, loving the fact that England is a nation and we don't want none of this bullshit with this socialist shit with Plaid Cymru. The SNP and all that. It's all socialism. Get it out of the way, people. Let's move them out of the way and so we're taking our countries back. And the only way to do that is to remove the supranationalist state of the British, right? And that means also the British establishment, that it also includes the British civil service, right? You can see that they have taken all of our rights and it's us who's going to give them back to us. So that's it. Let's see if we can see anything up there. Any other? Israel's carrying out exactly the same method of executions as the Nazis did. It's only like, right, it's our turn. I'll tell you what, like I say, at the end of the day, I think we need to do a lot of things. And there is so much footage that I got yesterday. I mean, literally, I could upload it all, but it's not boring because when you're in it and you're walking along, but you've got the camera, you're walking with the camera, you're trying to, it's not the ideal thing to do. You can take certain elements of it and it's all fantastic. But the next one, we're going to do it in a slightly different way, so that the 1 million plus people can see us, see the Magna Carta, see the English flags, and we'll be handing out leaflets to people, right? And that is what's going to make people go, wow, now I never knew this, right? But again, I'm hoping, I don't know, but I'm hoping that the Freedom and Alliance Party get it and understand that the British are the problem, because what we do not want is another British party. We need a party that stands up for individual rights, and the only way you're going to do that is to stand up for our English constitutional rights, our common law rights, our statutory rights. And this again is where a lot of these common lawers, especially in the fucking Smith Brigade, he might as well be part of the 77th Brigade, because he doesn't understand that common law, customary law and statutes are all part of what the English stand for in the English judiciary. It is the British that's abusing that. You're now seeing Tony Blair's attempt to destroy the English constitution with the well, with both things really, with the Constitutional Reform Act of 2005 and obviously signing the Lisbon Treaty. All of that was an attempt to destroy England. And the more people understand that, the better. So that's it. All I can do now is say au revoir. I'm going to have a coffee. I'm going to go through some of this footage. Don't forget, I'll be on the 5x5 show tonight for the round table. Monday night, hopefully we've got Jonathan Tilt from the Freedom Alliance Party. That should be really interesting, people, because a lot of people said, I didn't know much about them. Well, they've only been going a year. And it's a registered political party now. What I am watching like a hawk is how they feel about the British establishment and how they feel about England. Any form of regionalisation or talk of regionalisation and what they've done, we're going to reverse all that. And we need to put it back the way it was. And again, we will be side by side as a little brother, if you like, but older brother of the United States of America. That's it. Be lucky, and I will see you soon. What I am going to do is try and create a visual image so people understand this concept of a difference between England and Britain. Because Britain is it's an island. I'm going to finish on this. A long time ago, I went on a training course. And part of that training, funny enough, it was a rehabilitation and an offenders training course in prison, right? And it's always stuck with me. And it's where you as individuals all sit down, and the trainer says to you, right, you're on a desert island. You've been shipwrecked, and you're on a desert island. You're going to make a set of rules up for yourselves. What's the first rules you're going to make? Well, obviously you're all sharing, so that's a bit communist-y, right? Well, you are sharing because it's about survival, right? So everyone puts in their kit in it and everyone's going all right. And then you say, right, so, but then as they went through this training course, you say, so he's got something that you really want, whatever it is. Are you going to steal it? And no, you'll ask him for it. What happens if he says no? Well, obviously, no, you can't steal it. You're all in it together, blah, blah, blah. But he should have been, offering it or whatever. So this story goes on. But the story about the shipwreck and the fact you're on there is about that you all set up a set of rules and then you live by them rules. And there's also, you then have like a panel of people. And if someone went against the rules, the panel of people on the island all said, right, so this is what you've done wrong, and how are we going to fix it, blah, blah, blah. What I'm trying to get over to you about this desert island is just think that England and Britain, is an island. And that is literally what happened. People come to England from Europe because they didn't like the tyranny of Europe. And they come here because we had a different way of dealing with it. We had that island, we are the people, and we will have good laws, not bad laws. But everyone's got to operate in a way that we all accept. And I'm not talking about communism. I'm not talking about Marxism. But that's something that always stuck with me. And I think it's a true concept. And when you look at it from the British Isles way of looking at life and looking at what we've done and what we created, England exported to the world the Magna Carta, human rights, the English language, English common law system, which is the best system in the world, and it's why it gives you the most freedoms. And you can now see that is fully under attack, not only by globalists but by the British, who are, in effect, the globalists. And one way or the other, we got to take them down. So that's it. Again, I'm going to go through some of this stuff and see if I can get it up there. Love to you all. Thank you very much. Tune in 5x5 tonight. And don't forget, Monday night, hopefully Jonathan Tilt is going to be on there. I'm going to send him a reminder. 8 o'clock, and then we'll have a chat about the Freedom Alliance and talk about certain things, but my avenue will always be, because I know what the problem is, and the problem is the British, and we need to retake our country. We don't want a federalist state, because that just leaves the British establishment and the British civil service in place. That is allowing the enemy to continue, and we're not going to be doing that. That's it. Be lucky. See you later. Tiddly poo, au revoir, and I'll see you tonight. And don't forget what I believe in. The Constitution is the solution.